In 1997, a group of community leaders came together and launched NeighborWorks Columbus. Along the way, individuals and corporations stepped up to the plate and participated in taking neighborhood revitalization from concept to reality. Today, you can see that reality throughout Columbus's neighborhoods. And now, as NeighborWorks Columbus breaks ground on our newest phase, we invite you to join us on the journey.
Several years ago, the city embarked on a program called Community Improvement Program. The purpose was to clean up the communities, improve housing, the quality of life for people in general. And we wanted to sustain it a number of ways. One was by putting together a community watch program or neighborhood watch program to have community organizations come together, identify leadership in the community, and we went, in the second version of it, we went and we set up a neighborhood leadership academy, going in advance and identifying potential leaders to get through this academy so they could help sustain it. But one of the major accomplishments was to work with NeighborWorks and bring in the housing piece of it. Because regardless of how much we cleaned up and what we did, people were still living to some extent in substandard housing, and something had to be done about that because we weren't really accomplishing our entire mission. So the NeighborWorks program was instrumental in making it complete.
The city has worked over the years to assemble parcels of property. We've worked very closely with NeighborWorks to pass those parcels of property on to NeighborWorks that they could get in and build homes that persons could afford and recreate some neighborhoods that have become blight for our city. Neighborhoods like the East Winning neighborhood that's off 8th Street in Columbus. I'm so proud of that particular area. It's a neighborhood that people who once lived there look back at and they're very proud of. A neighborhood that people who once lived there will move back to. And my hat's off to NeighborWorks, and as city manager, I want to continue to work with NeighborWorks. I want to continue to be a part of the positive things that they are doing to help people in our community who otherwise would not be able to afford the American dream, a home, a decent home, a nice home, a home that any person would be proud of. And so hats off to NeighborWorks. We're proud to be a partner with you, and we intend to continue to work with you.
NeighborWorks Columbus has not only impacted this community, but has impacted total Columbus. NeighborWorks has made Columbus more prouder, especially in blighted areas, which this used to be, and now it's one of the fastest growing areas in the city on 8th Street here in Columbus, Georgia, down from Carver High School, where it used to be blight. Now people are rebuilding homes, or homes are being built by NeighborWorks, and people are basically asking and begging to be back into this neighborhood, and I think it's wonderful.
Several years ago, the Housing Authority applied for a Hope 6 grant, which is basically to revitalize public housing sites, and Peabody was selected as the site to be revitalized. And since that time, Peabody has been torn down. New mixed income housing will go in its place. But also important to that was to have home ownership and to afford a home ownership component to some of the residents of Peabody, maybe to other public housing residents as well. And without NeighborWorks Columbus, that would not have happened.
For our employees who haven't taken the home ownership route yet, but are just preparing for home ownership and looking at ways to plan for their futures, they've been able to take advantage of NeighborWorks Columbus's outreach efforts and educational efforts that they've offered to our employees. And they've been able to place themselves in the position that they can prepare for home ownership. So that's been a tremendous help as well.
I heard through NeighborWorks working at Aflac as an Aflac employee, they have what they call a lunch and learn. At the NeighborWorks come into Aflac, they tell us a little bit about the program, what they're about, how they can help us. I attended the program last month and realized that this is what I want. As a first-time buyer, they can help me because I never thought I'd be able to own a home at the age of 25. I got 2 kids and a husband, so I'm excited basically about, starting NeighborWorks, being able to purchase my house and get out my parents' house.
The process is really great. They showed me how to manage my finances even better. how to establish and keep my good credit so I can acquire a home. And through all that process, is a lot of learning. But it was great, and I'm a proud owner of my house today, and it feels great that you can have a group of people to help you achieve so much in so short time, and that's something that's for the rest of your life. It's a great investment.
There's always someone there to help me through this program, or even my realtor. I've been in my home. We closed on September 30th. I moved in on October 1st. And I love it. It's great. I have 3 children, and they're all excited about it, even to this day.
One of the great components of NeighborWorks is revitalizing a community, and in particular around a high school area. And I think about the saying that it takes a village to raise a child. But in this case, with NeighborWorks, it's going to take that community to raise the expectations of the children at the local high school, and that's very important. The high school is doing great things. It's Carver High School, and with the revitalization effort going on in that community is really helping the self-esteem of those children, and the faculty having to come to a neighborhood that is pleasant. It's going back to the vibrant community that it once was, and so that's going to have an impact on the students as well as the faculty there. NeighborWorks is truly changing communities and having a positive impact on the surroundings of our public school, changing the environment and the mindset of our public school, and we are so glad to have NeighborWorks Columbus in our neighborhood.
We had a blessed community. We had people, we had principals in the neighborhood, we had entrepreneurs in the neighborhood, and the love that you felt when you passed them in the street, when you went by a home, you would wave, you would say good morning, good evening, the respect that they instill within you. But I think the most important thing that I love about this community, and I appreciate the fact that NeighborWorks Columbus is trying to continue the spirit of love and compassion. I really value that point because we have a rich history, and this great organization realized that and want to continue a legacy of caring. We say community, but what does community mean? In this community, the definition was very simple: sharing, caring, loving. That's the community that I was reared in. That's the community that I love. The dirt is good here, and it always will be.